Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the SAP Business One tips and trick. My name is Matthew and on today's episode we are going to be working with SAP Business One Service Layer. So before we begin, I would like to introduce the SAP Business One Service Layer. So what is SAP Business One Service Layer? SAP Business One Service Layer is actually a RESTful web service framework that exposes SAP Business One data and business logic through OData compliant APIs. So it enables external application to securely interact with SAP Business One using the standard HTTP method, either get, post, patch, or delete, depending on the method at which you want to use to consume the record. Now, in SAP Business One Service Layer is actually a modern integration interface for SAP Business One running on S4HANA or SAP SQL. So in this case, uh, the authorization aspect that we are going to be talking about for SAP Business One Service Layer is actually how you can, streamline your authorizations process for each of your users connecting to the service layer. Now, the technical aspect is not going to be boring, I promise you that, but this video is going to be useful or helpful for those who are actually building a custom application or they are willing or looking at extending the SAP Business One feature based on some of their business requirements. And also, if you or your developer are looking at, we want to make sure that when we build this application, we want to be able to streamline the user access for the application we are building, probably a module in SAP Business One that you want to set authorization parameters. This is how to go about it. So we are going to be using the two interface. We are going to be logging to the SAP Business One control center, which is the site user, the B1 site user. We'll look at how SAP has, how SAP exposes the endpoint, the get, the patch, the read, and the update. We'll look at that, and also we go to the business one client and set the authorization so you can see how this is done and what applies to the particular platform you're using. All right, without wasting much of the time, let's delve into the demo and begin the process proper. All right, so I'm going to log in with my B1 site user. Okay. Okay, now I'm logged in and we go to services. From services, you can have access to SAP Business One Service Layer. So this is the SAP Business One documentation for Service Layer. And if you navigate to the API reference, there we are. You can have the documentation. If you want to know more about OData and how to use OData to consume records, you can simply, you know, go to the OData protocol documentation, and it will be helpful with the documentation. Also, you can leverage on the OData libraries. SAP will recommend that. Then we have other services like the API reference library and so on. So these are all the actions that is exposed with service layer. So actions and functions, you need to understand what actions and functions are. So here we already have a brief introduction or definition for actions and functions. Actions and functions are used to extend the set of operations that are able to be performed on service or entities. So for example, for the standard CRUD, which are the create, read, update, and delete operation, you cannot be applied or cancelled, and so on. So you need to have access to this to be able to consume it. Now, if you scroll down, we have the login, which gives you access to the login information. You can see that the login has a post request. So if I click on the button, I can have more information like the URI and the body. So the same thing applies with any other functionality you want to do. So we are going to be demonstrating some of this in with our Postman. Our Postman is actually a tool that is used to consume API and so on and so forth. So you have also your logout action for your logout. You know for your logout processes. So if you want to log out of probably any application you're building. So these are ways for you to be able to, log into B1 and create a session or your cookie or your header uh, login parameters. Then also, if you scroll down, we have a lot of actions, but where we are usually concerned about are the entities. So the entities are the records, the individual instances or objects like your business partner, your sales order, your invoices, and so on. So here you can see the category, the list of all the entities we have. For example, if you want to have access to bank, you can see we have the get, the post, the patch, and the delete. And also a lot of them. We have dunning, delivery notes, department, and so on. So we're going to be working with invoices and items. So these are um, some of the endpoints, URI endpoints for the invoice. So we have the URI. If you are going to be performing a post request, this is an example of the body that you'll be using, and so on and so forth. Okay, so without wasting much time, this is the service layer and how to, access all the URI endpoints. Now, for us to now, grant authorization. So let's say, for example, we have a user which we don't want to have access to invoice or item, for example. So let's see how we can, restrict them um, based on the read-write access. So for example, we have a user that will be consuming the service layer, and that particular user, um, maybe based on um, the application we build, you don't want them to have access to some information around the item, then it's possible you restrict them. So you can restrict their gets, you can restrict their posts, and you can restrict their delete possibly. So let's see how this is done. So here I'm going to log into my B1 client. So let's log in as a manager. So I'm logged in as a manager. So let's see. Currently we don't have access, but I'm just going to show you the authorization. So here I have Bill. I'm going to be using Bill as a as the user which we are going to be restricting his access. So let's see what Bill has authorizations to do. So Bill has authorizations um, to view invoices, to create invoices, and update invoices. Also, on the item inventory, okay. So Bill has authorization to see everything on inventory. So he has full authorization with item master data, so to say. All right, so I'm going to the postman. So I'm going to log in as Bill. This is Bill. This is his credentials. So I'm going to be logging in as Bill. So here the validation is successful. So if I go back to the service layer, so I'm just going to copy for item. Let's see the get items. So I'm just going to copy this. I already have the URI, so I'm just going to copy this or let's just copy the whole URI. Okay, so I'm going back to my postman, and if I go navigate to the get, so let's say I just want to use, I'm just going to post. Oh, I already have my URI, so I'm just going to use the existing one. Okay, so if I send the information, voila, so you can see Bill has authorization to view all this. So these are the results for all the item. So I can also equally connect my application to any other application that I'm working with. All right, so we have access. Now let's switch back to SAP and let's unset the authorization. Okay, let's say for example we have sales. So I'm going to set it as read only. So now um, let me explain what the authorization means. So for full authorization, for those who don't know, full authorizations means the user have access to the full authorizations to create, read, write, and update, or patch and update. Now for read only, you can only view, but you cannot update or delete. Now if there is no authorization, it means you can neither view nor update or perform any other, you know, method or API method activity. All right, so I'm going to set this as, let's set it as no authorization first. That's for sales invoice, and I'm scrolling down to inventory. So I'm not going to grant item authorization. So I'm just going to say no authorization. So if I click on update, and let's switch back to postman. Now here on the postman, if I click on send, so you can see the error message. Okay, we have session timed out, so I think I need to, you know, reset the session. So the session is valid now. So if I go back to the item and I click on send, so you can see the current user does not have permission to query the object items. And I guess the same thing is for invoices. So I'm just going to use the invoice query. So you can send, and you can see modify this does not have permission. So if I go back to SAP and grant the authorization back to, let's say for example, the sales, I grant it read only invoice. So if I update, I go, um, if I send, okay, so I need to send again. Okay, let me check. Okay, just hold on, let me send again. Okay, new session, and I send again. So now we have, you know, the data record. All right. Okay, so here we have the record. All right, so that is how to grant authorization to users from the service layer. So if you're building any app and the app requires authorization from any of your users, this is one of the ways you can, grant those authorization. All right, this will mean the end of this session. If you have a request for a video, you can put it in the comment section. And if you also have an objection or you want us to discuss more on the SAP, what we've just talked about, or the video that we just worked on, you can put it also on the comment section. I'll be glad to, respond. Also, for more videos, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. This will mean a lot to, help us move the channel forward. And also, please like, share, and subscribe. Until the next video, thank you for watching and do enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.